Project Onramp Internship Showcase. My name is Sarah McDonald, and I'm the Executive Director of Life Science Cares here in Boston. And we are so excited to have you today for our virtual celebration. Staring back at you all from the screen, you have supervisors and hiring managers who have remained committed to building opportunities. You have other industry leaders who have been supportive as volunteers and mentors to help build networks for students. And most importantly, joining us today, you have much of the class of 2021, 127 young men and women who have worked throughout some pretty extraordinary circumstances, virtually, in person, and a combination of the two, to support work across the industry throughout this summer. I have a minute to give you a little bit of background and some housekeeping, and then I'm going to turn it over to Lila. The real stars of the show are the students and supervisors joining us here today. Just some housekeeping. If folks are able to choose the speaker view from the top right of your screen, it will help you stay connected to the speakers who'll be joining us and help us spotlight them. We also ask that folks keep themselves muted. It's a really, really big group, but in order to encourage as much engagement as possible, we wanted to allow you to see each other and celebrate. We encourage you to use the chat box to be loud. If you see your interns, your supervisors, please thank them, share any parting thoughts for the summer with them in the chat box. We're really excited to see all the connections we can make. On behalf of the Life Science Cares Board of Directors and our partners at MassBio, MassBioEd, the Massachusetts Life Science Center, Frequency Therapeutics, and Mass Biomedical Initiatives, welcome to our celebration. We are in year 3 of Project Onramp, and it has been a crazy ride. We are so proud of the men and women who have stuck with their work this summer. And continue to get really incredibly positive feedback from supervisors and colleagues. We also want to thank the companies, 70 companies this year who hosted interns, companies of all sizes, of all phases, of all states of maturity, each of which committed to creating a valuable experience for their interns and others. And finally, for the volunteers who have really helped pull together our programs this summer, our professional development programs. We couldn't do it without you, and we're so proud of the connections we have helped make. It is also my honor to introduce our one of our guest speakers this afternoon, Mr. Rob Perez, the founder of Life Science Cares and the chair of the board of Life Science Cares Boston. Rob.
Thanks, Sarah and Lila. This is an amazing opportunity for me because I'm proud of a whole lot of stuff that we've done at Life Science Cares, but I am the great work that's being done by Project Onramp. 127 interns and 70 companies this year is the biggest we've ever done it. And I'm extremely pleased and proud to be a part of all this. Just a quick thank you and shout out to all the partners that helped to make this happen, because it is a collective effort to make it happen. Our partners at MassBio and the Mass Life Science Center, who were in this together with us to get this started. Our partners at Bottom Line and Thrive, and all of those nonprofit partners that helped us. And a special shout out to Lila Neal, who has been at the center of this from the very beginning and has really made it happen. So that Lila that you guys know is the very kind, nurturing person, is also straight gangster if you go over on time. So I'm gonna kind of jump in, and I now have 9 minutes left to talk to you guys a little bit about kind of my path, and to talk a little bit about my journey and networking, which I think is a really important step for you. So I have a talk that's much longer than 10 minutes that I give to a lot of young people about what I wish I knew when I was your age. And it basically is 3 parts. The first is the value of being your authentic self. The second is about the value of having a growth mindset. I'm not going to go into those two right now, but I am going to talk a little bit about the third thing, which is the value of managing your network. So before I go too deeply into the network part, just a little bit on me. I'm the founder and chairman of Life Science Cares, but my day job is working in the biopharmaceutical industry. So not unlike many of you, if not virtually all of you, I didn't have a path to the industry that was traditional or that basically provided an easy on-ramp to our industry. I grew up in South Central Los Angeles and didn't even really know what biopharma was. I was graduating from a state school called Cal State LA in downtown LA, and just needed a job, to be quite honest. I was looking for sales positions from anything that would pay me a decent wage. So I ended up seeing an ad in the paper for a sales job for what was then a company called Stewart Pharmaceuticals, which ultimately became AstraZeneca. But and it was basically $27,000 a year and a car. And I was like, that's it. That's the perfect job for me. I don't know what this pharmaceutical thing is, but I'm sure I can do it. And that's how lucky I was to get a chance to be in this industry, which has proven to be one of the major blessings of my life. So for all of you, you've had the chance to now have some exposure to our industry, depending upon what your functional area of interest is, be it science, be it business, be it manufacturing, whatever. Now you guys have a chance to have an on-ramp into this industry, and I want to talk to you a little bit about how to kind of manage that. So 3 things to think about when you're considering, now that you've got one foot in the door of our industry, how do you make sure that you expand that? And frankly, this is true for those of you that want to get into the biopharmaceuticals industry, but even those who may not, and may be looking at something else. How do you ensure that you're managing that network? First point is, people want to help you. You may not see that every day, and not 100% of the people want to help you, but generally I'd say it's 87.5% of the people do want to help you. And so make sure that you're taking advantage of that. A lot of times it can be scary to reach out to try to get that help from senior people or leaders within the industry, but the vast majority of people want to help you. And often what I find in talking to young people is it becomes a little scary to ask them for help. Or if you ask them for help once and you don't hear back from them or don't get the response that maybe you were hoping, it becomes hard to ask again. I'm telling you, after years of experience, ask again and again and again. Because even if you're worried about annoying them, chances are they're just really busy and there's a lot going on. The value of your persistence and asking for help can be a major determinant in what you can do to kind of manage your network. The second is, there's a law or a principle in technology called Metcalfe's law, and it basically means that the value of a network increases proportionally by the square of each additional node. And what that basically means is, when you're adding to your network of people who know you and can help you, each additional person expands the value of that network exponentially. So you really have to be on guard and think about it in a planful way to grow that network significantly. So because each additional person that you know and that you add to your network knows other people who can also potentially provide you help, guidance, mentorship, etc. So as you're thinking about your current Project Onramp experience and frankly managing your professional career, getting out and making sure that you're meeting people, and that could be people that are above you and are leaders in the industry. It could be people who are at your level, who are colleagues that you just find interesting. It could be people who are frankly trying to get into a Project Onramp that you want to meet and you want to be able to help down the road. Whatever, all of those nodes, all of those people who are enhanced in your network add value. And I'll give you one story with that. One of the relationships that is really important to me in my life, professional relationships, is with a guy called Tony Coles. And if you guys know Tony, Tony's one of the probably most extraordinary leaders of color, just leaders generally, but leaders of color in our industry. He's a CEO of a company here and involved in a lot of great organizations. And it's somebody who I am very pleased to call a friend. Tony and I's relationship started when we were both leaders of kind of commercial departments back when we were a lot younger, many, many years ago in Boston. And the two of us really didn't know each other. I called him up and said, hey, we don't know each other. We should, because we share kind of a lot of similarities, a lot of things in common. And I was just trying to enhance getting people to be a part of my network who I found interesting. So it's not about, I didn't think Tony could do anything for me. I didn't think I could do that much for him, but it was an interesting kind of connection, and it absolutely exponentially expanded my network because that relationship has become a friendship for life. So as you think about the people that you've come into contact with Project Onramp, people that you've met within the Project Onramp administration, as well as all of your colleagues here, I will really encourage you to manage that network. Think about those folks and those relationships as gifts and collect as many of them as possible, because they're going to pay off for you both in the near term, and they will grow exponentially in value over the long term. So with that, I am still within my time by a minute. I'm going to say thank you to all of you. Congratulations on completing the program. And we're really, really proud to have you all now as Project Onramp alums, and hope that you will continue to give back to the organization as you grow in your careers and become business leaders. Thank you very much, and looking forward to hearing the student speakers.
Thank you so much, Rob. I know you and I are really committed to being a meaningful part of these students' networks, and I know there's so many people on this call who are as well. So I hope that the students really take what you said to heart. We now have two students, Sharon Rosas and Rakisha Gay, speaking next in a fireside chat moderated by Truman Nguyen of Bottom Line. Hi, Truman.
Hi, Lola, and welcome everybody. Rakisha and Sharon, thank you so much for being here with us today. I've had the distinct pleasure of getting to hear your reflections throughout your internship, so I personally know that you both have had some very meaningful experiences. So Rakisha, I'll start with you. Would you mind introducing yourself by sharing where you go to school, where you're currently interning, and perhaps a brief summary of what you've worked on this summer?
Yes. Hi, I'm Rakisha. I'm a fifth-year psychology major on a pre-med track at Northeastern. I interned at Bio this summer, and I started with the position of a clinical trial coordinator, but I moved to the position of assistant director of Project Clio, which is their nonprofit organization. And throughout the summer, I've been working on preparing for the start of a clinical research trial called Project Clio that focuses on immunology.
Wow, that's all I have to say. So many moving pieces to that. That's awesome. Sharon, would you introduce yourself and share where you go to school, what you're majoring in, where you've been interning, and also a brief summary of what you've been doing this summer?
Of course. Hi, my name is Sharon. I am a rising senior at Boston University. I am interning still in Biogen, and my position included me working with a certain cell line to use for future tau experiments in Alzheimer's disease.
Okay, great. I love the fact that both of you are rising seniors. That is so exciting. So first, congratulations on reaching that milestone. We can't wait to see what you'll accomplish, and also looking forward to hearing how your experiences are going to really help shape your future career goals too. So Rakisha, I'll ask you the first question. You have moved positions in your internship, but overall, it sounds as though you've been responsible for coordinating this clinical trial. So you must wear many, many hats. I'm curious to know, what are you most proud of so far, or what have you been pleasantly surprised by during this internship experience at Bio?
Yeah, so like during this experience, I've been pleasantly surprised by the variety of fields that I'm able to interact with and the people that I'm able to connect to. So from like the start, I met with physicians to hear their input on the research study. And then I've also met with like political campaign organizers and heard like how they reach their organizations. And then I've also like met with artists, like go over like design for research materials. So I think like overall I've been like surprised by like how many fields like interact to contribute to a clinical research study.
That's really neat. I had no idea, and I don't come from a scientific background, so I had no idea that it allows you to talk to people like political organizers and artists and things like that. That's really, really neat. For Sharon, as a neuroscience major, also knowing what this pandemic, how it's interrupted students' academic years, I'm curious to know, what was the learning process like working in a lab this summer after a year or maybe even a year and a half of remote learning? Were there skills or techniques that you felt like you had to relearn or start from scratch with because of that?
Definitely. I want to say two things that, for example, for me, in terms of lab skills, everything that I put on my resume, I can learn because I didn't have practice with it. Just you need to constantly practice, and it wasn't just for me as an intern, but I noticed in my some people were like struggling more with, for example, pipetting and everything, because it's something that you have to practice constantly in order to continue that flow, and then another thing that I had to practice, which is something that I think everybody can relate to, is asking for help, in terms of asking for help in person. So put it in a chat box is definitely way easier than telling people, hey, I need help with this right now. So I feel that with remote learning, it's been very difficult for someone to voice themselves and advocate for themselves. Oh, I'm sorry, it's remote learning, but when you're shifting back to like actually being in person, I think that it's become very, very difficult compared to how it was before.
That's great. And I'm so glad that you were able to make that smooth transition into the lab after a year of remote learning. I saw Rob with a big smile on his face when Sharon, you mentioned, you learning how to ask for help. So that's great. For Rakisha, because there are so many parts that go into coordinating a clinical trial, what skills do you feel like you've grown the most in or have had to use the most as the project lead for this big clinical trial for Project Clio?
Yeah, so I think like I've definitely like grown the most in terms of communication and leadership. Like being in the position of an assistant director, I often have to communicate tasks to like different people to like in order to get things done. Like this summer, I found myself delegating tasks when it comes to developing like the social medias from like a start of nothing, and then also like helping to like design the outreach materials for the study. And there are also like several opportunities for me to like take initiative to like brainstorm different aspects that will like help to make the study more appealing when it does start, to like kind of encourage people to participate in the study.
That's incredible, Rakisha. And some of the skills that I heard you call out were communication, leadership, taking initiative, delegation. Those are all things that I don't think I even started to work on until I found my first full-time job. So the fact that you get to do that at your internship speaks volumes. That's awesome. For Sharon, you have, being at Biogen, I can only imagine just how big of a network you've been able to build. So I'm sure there's so much advice and feedback that you've gotten this summer. Was there a specific piece of advice or maybe lesson that you've learned this summer that really resonated with you and that you want to carry with you in the future?
Yes, of course. I remember the specific encounter with one of my team members, and I was just talking, and he was like, he kind of offered me his help when it came down to finding a full-time position at Biogen. He was like, hey, if you ever need help, that I was also in your position 2 years ago. He graduated from Northeastern University, and he wasn't in there 2 years ago. He was like, hey, if you help, let me know. Like I can I can help you out different, like I know the ins and outs. And it kind of like made me think about how there's this passion that not only he has, but other workers have at Biogen, that they kind of want to draw people in. And how you know that they enjoy what they're doing and they're passionate about it. And that's something that I think was really new to me and really impactful to me. Something that I want to take in with me.
That's awesome. And hopefully one day you'll also get to be in the same shoes as that coworker and get to encourage other interns that you're working with to come join you full-time afterwards too. So speaking of full-time, you know, both of you as seniors who are graduating this upcoming year, I'm curious to know for the both of you, how has this internship influenced what your future career goals or plans will be? We'll start with Rakisha.
Yeah, so for as long as I can remember, my future career goals has been to attend medical school and then become a pediatrician, and that goal still remains. And working at Jer Bio, from like the interview process, everyone has like been very supportive of like helping me to like face challenges that look good for like medical schools and be appealing as like a medical school candidate. And I think that this internship has like influenced my goals because it allows me to like be in a position that is like supportive of like the future goal of being a doctor. And it allows me to see that this is like something that like I can maintain doing in the event that like I don't want to like finish undergrad and go directly to medical school, but like take a break in between. This like is definitely like a career that I could have like during that space in between.
That's wonderful. Sharon, what about you? How has this internship influenced your future career goals?
Similar to Rakisha, I've also come to the conclusion that I really do want to follow medical school. And, you know, kind of saying here boldly, but I really do not want to get a PhD, like ever. It's, and not because, of course, of the fact that my manager was great. She was amazing, but she has definitely made me see that this is a type of career that I do not want to pursue. However, she also showed me that the type of workplace that I want to be in. She was, as a manager, she has always been so resourceful, and she was, you know, she always showed that the workplace that I was in had to do more with I'm here to help you and not drag you down. You know, it's like she showed me that the culture at Biogen is very suitable for an intern and welcoming for an intern. And it doesn't like make you seem like an intern, it makes you see like an actual worker, a part of the team that you're in. So that's something that I want to see in, you know, just a very welcoming environment and not a selective environment, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that we always tell our students is, you know, internships are meant to be a learning opportunity. So you learn what you like doing and what you don't like doing. And for the both of you, I'm so glad that you have been able to really build impactful skills that are going to really contribute to your success as future medical school students too. So thanks so much to the both of you. Best of luck.
Thank you so much, students in Tremont. Next up, we have the dynamic duo of intern Melanie Sola and her supervisor this summer, Sheila Hamami of Triple Ring. Welcome, Melanie and Sheila.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Melanie Sola. I'm a rising second-year student at Northeastern University studying management information systems. And this summer, I've had the privilege of doing business development and marketing with Triple Ring Technologies. And I'm very excited to be here today. Is Sheila on?
Sheila, are you? Oh, great.
Sorry, so my network dropped out. Hopefully I'm on a different network and a different computer, and hopefully this one will stay connected for the next 8 minutes.
Great. So we'd love to kind of hear more about your experience, the two of you. Sheila, if you can tell us what it was like to have Melanie as an intern, and Melanie, if you can talk about your experience and just have a conversation with each other about the great summer you had.
Okay, so I think we're going to start off with Melanie introducing herself, her position, and a little bit of stuff.
Yeah, I just got to share that. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay, good. So super quick. So for me, there are two components to a good internship that I think a supervisor is responsible for. So the first is creating and facilitating a good assignment for the intern. Not all assignments are created equal, and I think that creating a good assignment is something that requires some thought and planning. And the second is providing the intern with the right amount of guidance. So I'll elaborate on both of these for just a little bit. I feel very strongly that in creating an assignment for an intern, it's important that everybody involved has, what I like to say is some skin in the game. And that's everybody has a vested interest in the successful completion of the assignment. And that means the organization itself, the company, has a vested interest in this assignment being successfully completed. The supervisor, and potentially even others, customers or entities outside of the company. The assignment has to be sufficiently specified. So not too much detail, because then it's just following a laundry list, but also not too prescriptive. I think internships are part of the educational experience, and they need to be designed as such. It's not just a job in a box that you could give to somebody else in the company. I like to provide references to the intern or examples as guidance, so they can go learn more about something that I've asked them to do. It's important that the assignment is completable in the amount of time that's been given, and that really requires, I think, some calibration and some practice. In terms of, we often can define things that would take us 2 days to do and may take an intern or a junior person much longer, and really being cognizant of that. And it's very important to me also that the assignment has some tangible endpoints, so that a sense of accomplishment is possible, right? Like, not I filed papers all summer. The assignment also needs to provide the opportunity for open-ended problem solving and creativity. That's part of the learning experience. The last thing I'll say is that I think intern tasks should never be in the critical path for anything in the organization, right? That's just a recipe for disaster for everybody. And the last comment I'll make goes to my second point, which is providing the intern with the right amount of guidance. So I personally am very much a hands-off supervisor unless conditions merit otherwise. Okay, so unless I assess that I need to go in and do some kind of intervention. I like to find the balance between guidance and direction. If I see interns going down what I consider might be the wrong path, generally, I like to let them discover things on their own. This is how they learn. This is how we all learn, by experience. And I think it's turns the opportunity into a learning experience rather than a follow instructions experience. And to me, that's the most important thing. So with that, I'm going to hand off to Melanie.
Yeah, absolutely. What I feel mainly made our dynamic work was that as an intern, I came to understand the importance of being coachable. And having an advisor or a supervisor you can look up to just makes you want to be somewhat of a sponge and just absorb all you can from them. And that's exactly what happened throughout this internship. Sheila made herself accessible to Gerard and I, the other intern, whenever we had any questions regarding our actual work or just life in general. My assignment also allowed for critical thinking and problem-solving skills, and Sheila gave us the opportunity to figure things out ourselves and provided guidance whenever it was needed. And seeing her trust and believe in our capabilities was definitely motivating and helped alleviate imposter syndrome, which is easily to have when you're an undergraduate student working at such company. And she helped me improve in various areas as well, in things such as networking or just smaller things like figuring how to receive feedback and how to proceed with it. And Sheila's approach to supervising has allowed space for me to learn as I went through with my assigned project. And because of this internship has resulted in a valuable learning experience. And overall, what I feel like makes a great supervisor is someone who's willing to mentor you through the process rather than just dictating everything. And that's exactly what Sheila managed to do. And I'm beyond grateful to have had this experience.
Well, we are fortunate to have both Melanie with us this summer and Gerard. And also, I want to really thank Project Onramps. I have worked with a lot of programs over my close to 30 years in working in the technical space with bringing interns on over the summer with different backgrounds. And I want to say that this is by far the most professional program I've ever worked with.
Well, thank you so much, Sheila. I mean, it's just wonderful to have partner companies who are really committed to our mission. Thank you, Melanie, for being such an amazing intern. You rocked it this summer. You guys are such a great example of the way that we hope these internships are going to work out when we place students in the summer. So I'm excited that it did. Next up, we have two more students who are going to say a few words about their internships, really focusing on the cultures at the companies where they worked. First up is Sashi Lamore, who worked at Blueprint Medicines. Hi, Sashi.
Hello, Layla. Hello, everyone. My name is Sashi Lamore. I had the opportunity to intern at Blueprint Medicines this summer in Cambridge as a clinical operations intern. And some background info about me. I'm currently a senior at the University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth, majoring in health and society. And I really was interested in this internship this summer as far as I wanted to see this side of pharmaceutical industry and see how that interaction role plays with patient interaction without the non-clinical side of things. So that was why I was excited this summer for my internship. My responsibilities included supporting the staff and reviewing key clinical documents, as well as working on a budget analysis project where I got to explore looking at different cost drivers and analyzing various geographical sites to kind of look at what are the differences and patterns across these sites. So that was something interesting as well. And it really encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone and explore these administrative skills that I know would be useful in the future, both on employment and educational side of things. And some things I've learned this summer through my internship is being able to self-manage myself, as a lot of previous interns have spoke to that so far as being able to dictate yourself on these assignments and tasks given, while also understanding you could still step out of your comfort zone and ask for direction as needed. So that was something that I really loved. And my manager also supported that as well. And also something about the culture at Blueprint Medicines was the fact that it's so collaborative and inclusive of the diverse opinions and backgrounds of everyone there, that I felt like this is something that I really hope to have in a future role myself, as I aspire to be in such an environment, and also as far as this setting, a place of work as well. I aspire to be a nurse down the line and complete a program after my current undergraduate degree. So this really opened up to my eyes on this spectrum of the industry, and as well as I can still have that patient interaction, and Blueprint Medicine definitely encourages that within their setting, as far as despite the various roles and departments, everyone is heading towards this direction of patient safety and improving the health of patients across the scope, as far as whether that's within the lab or whether that's within someone working on a clinical trial and looking at labs and supplies, etc. So that's something I really loved about. And it's also the opportunity to network. Thank you so much to Project Onramp and Bottom Line as well, as far as this opportunity has given me the chance to meet different individuals from within the industry, as well as I got to even network with people who are nurses currently and worked at Blueprint Medicine. So that was something I explored. And now I have that in mind as far as exploring a future career opportunity as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sashi. Next, I'd like to welcome Kayla Carrasquillo, who worked at Takeda. Hi, Kayla.
Hi, everyone. As Leila said, my name is Kayla Carrasquillo, and I'm a rising junior at Northeastern University, and I'm majoring in chemical engineering. I was a business intelligence intern in the Facilities Engineering and Validation Quality Management System, FEVQMS for short, team at Takeda Pharmaceuticals this summer. In my first experience of working in the corporate world, I was interested to see what the company culture was at Takeda. I found the culture to be very patient-centered, passionate, and supportive. During my time at Takeda, I saw that all employees were patient-centered and passionate about the mission of the company. Even departments that were far removed from the patients, like manufacturing, understood why their work was important and how it impacted patients. It was clear that everyone was working together to provide safe drugs to those who had rare diseases and were incredibly motivated by the important mission. I also saw that the employees were supportive and collaborative. Everyone understood that I was an intern and my team was warm and welcoming to a newcomer. In the pharma industry, there is a lot of confusing terminology, which is difficult to catch on to, but my colleagues at Takeda were understanding and patient as I learned the new terms. They also took the time to explain their role and help me understand why it was important for me to create certain visuals for them. It was especially encouraging that they didn't mind me asking them questions, no matter how little they were. And they would even set up follow-up meetings to make sure everything was answered. One thing I learned that is important in Takeda's culture is communication. I found that it is always better to over-communicate, especially when working on projects with others. The key to success when working online is proactive communication, which compensates for the loss of in-person interaction. Another takeaway from Takeda's culture is growth and professional development. Takeda did a beautiful job of providing an environment for interns so that they could attend meetings with professionals within the company. These meetings provided great advice and tips on how to be successful, how to be a successful leader, how to network, how to self-brand, and so much more. To be able to take full advantage of these professional development sessions, I found that it was incredibly helpful to take lots and lots of notes. I can now refer back to these notes and these learnings even after I left the internship, so I'm so grateful for that. Lastly, something that I consider like the most powerful thing, that I learned from Takeda's company culture is the concept of failing upwards. What this means is that it's okay to fail and make mistakes. My boss's boss even said, please make mistakes. And that the failure is not the issue, but rather the steps taken afterward are what determines true success. I found that college is difficult, but by having this growth mindset and refusing to give up, even if you experience failure, is key to academic and professional success. And I would like to take this last moment to say thank you to Project Onramp, thank you to Takeda, thank you to Eric, my manager, for being so helpful. I would also like to thank Bottom Line and Minds Matter, because they actually allowed me to also have this opportunity, and I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kayla. Okay, I'm inspired. Thanks so much for your words. For the rest of the program, we're going to give the floor to students and supervisors who want to say a few words, a shout out to your company, your manager, or that amazing intern you had this summer would be great. Make sure you're on speaker view, please. We're going to ask that you raise your hand so that we can call on you. To use the raise hand feature, in Zoom, click on reactions. And if you're using your phone, you can click the 3 dots to the right of participants and then click raise hand. So as we get started, I know there are a few students who want to speak and who really want to say something about their summer experience. So let me first call on Suhaila. Suhaila Abdi, do you want to say a few words? If you can unmute yourself, Suhaila, that would be great. Well, I don't see Suhaila. Is there anybody else on Nguyen? Would you like to speak up?
Hi, yeah, sorry, my camera isn't working right now. But I just want to say a big thank you to Intellia Therapeutics for just creating like a wonderful experience in such a welcoming environment. Like someone else said before, I didn't feel like an intern, I felt a part of the team.
So great. Jenny Wilson, do you want to unmute yourself, Jenny?
Yes, I just want to give a shout out to Nimbus Therapeutics in Cambridge. I had such an amazing experience working with the people team as a people intern and just meeting really almost everyone in the company at the all company event in person. It was a great opportunity for me to network and just build an experience. Like, I'm hoping to stay on the HR track. So it was really a great opportunity for me to see what people get to do every day for their jobs. And I think the best part was really just working with a diverse group of all women on the people team. So shout out to Jolene, Samantha, and Erin. You guys are the best.
Thanks so much, Jenny. Ryan Kelly, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, absolutely. First, thank you so much for a terrific program today. And I just want to shout out Matthew. I know I can speak for the whole Flywheel team by saying you worked super hard this summer. You did an excellent job. I know it was certainly a bit of a challenge to learn a new role, a new industry, especially doing it completely virtually with everything going on with the pandemic. But you were certainly up to the challenge, and we thank you for all your hard work.
Thanks so much. Eve Bourjali, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, okay, so my name's Eve, obviously. I had the pleasure of working with Wave Life Sciences, and I worked with Jose and Kelly. They're on the call somewhere. I'm an English major, so I never imagined myself working at biotech, never even considered it at all. And so working at Wave, it's been really, really an amazing, and I don't know, like I have no words to describe how great it was working at Wave, because everyone was so welcoming and everyone was so eager to answer my questions. Imagining me, English major, talking to these people every day, I don't really know much. So they were just really like ready, like, okay, we can answer these questions. We can go through everything. So thank you guys so much. And thank you, Project Onramp, for everything.
Thank you, Eve. Hannah Evers, would you like to say a few words? Hi, Hannah.
Hi. Yes, I just wanted to first thank Project Onramp for the opportunity to even begin interning here. But then I want to give a shout out to Mustang Bio and specifically the mentors that I had, Glenn and Roshni. They were amazing. The company was very welcoming, including them and the entire team that I got to work with. It was an amazing experience and I got to learn so much. So I would definitely consider working with them again.
Thank you, Hannah. Mohammed Samader, would you like to say a few words? If you can unmute yourself, Mohammed.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to thank everyone, or thank Project Onramp for the opportunity to work at Frequency Therapeutics. I was able to meet a lot of great people and learn a lot about what it looks like to be in both human resources and communications, which has been really helpful, especially like going into my senior year. And I'd also like to give a special shout out to my mentor, Dave Melville, who would give us like space to reflect and think about our experience and what we want to do post afterwards, which was really helpful too.
Thanks, Mohammed. What about you, Fiona? Fiona Lau?
Hi, I'd like to give a shout out to my manager at Albereo, Lauren Snyder. I believe she's on the call right now. I'd like to thank her for letting me be involved in the approval and launch of our company's first drug to treat rare liver diseases. And she helped give me the opportunity to work on various communications projects, especially video projects that helped honor and celebrate my company's major milestone. And just knowing that I made a positive contribution to Albereo is an honorable accomplishment for me. And I'd love to thank Life Science Cares for giving me this opportunity to even pursue an internship in the biotech industry.
Thank you so much. What about Scott? Would you like to speak up, Scott? Yep, Scott.
I would like to thank Project Onramp, but I'd also like to thank Rosie Galan, the Career Connection Centers person at Clark University, who helped put in the applications for me to get the internship I have at AbbVie. And I also like to thank my manager, Nelson Ornella, who I worked with for the last 2 months. So thank you very much.
Thank you. What about you, Yusuf Khan? Would you like to say something?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Casma Therapeutics for letting me intern here. It was a wonderful experience. I also want to thank Frank, my supervisor, who's sitting right next to me. He's been super helpful and really helped me grow and showed me what it means to be a scientist. So yeah, thank you.
Astu Bass, would you like to say a few words?
Hi, yes. I would like to give a shout out to the Wiley Network Project Onramp for giving me the opportunity to be able to intern at Generation Bio. And I would also like to give a shout out to Generation Bio for giving me the opportunity to be a quality assurance intern there. And I would also like to express my gratitude to my supervisor for being such an amazing, kind, and just like overall I had a great experience working with her, Jackie LaFrance. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thanks so much, Astu. There's so many people who want to speak. What about you, Danny Toribio?
I would like to give a shout out to Kodiak Biosciences, especially my manager, Niti Mittal, just here in the meeting, for being such a wonderful mentor, co-worker, and manager this summer, and everyone in the oncology and preclinical team in Kodiak. And also I would like to thank Bottom Line and Project Onramp for this opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you. What about you, Coralie? Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to thank Bottom Line and Project Onramp for giving me the opportunity to work at Mass Bio over the summer. And also shout out to my two supervisors, Zachary Stanley and Ben Bradford, for always providing me with
Oh my God.
support and help throughout my time at Mass Bio, as well as shout out to the whole Mass Bio team for always making me feel welcome and always inviting me to like staff outings and things like that. I had a really great time this summer and I learned so much. So thank you.
Kevin Luo, could you speak up?
Yes, of course. First of all, I want to thank Project Onramp for organizing the event today, as well as providing me with the opportunity to work in life science. And then I want to give a big shout out to Stowe Therapeutics, the company I'm interning at this summer, for being super welcoming throughout the entire summer. And I actually hang out with the entire company yesterday at the outings, and everyone is really welcoming, regardless of the age group, which is really surprising and very pleasant. And last but not least, I want to give a big shout out to my supervisor, Eric, for being super fun to hang out and chat with. And also, it's a great coder, which I learned from a lot every day working with him. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. And Thomas Hernandez Patino.
So I wanted to thank Project Onramp for the opportunity of like getting me connected with Foresight, and like thank you for like this opportunity in general. And like I wanted to give a shout out to Jeff Wheeler and Foresight Capital for just being an amazing place to work at. I came in not knowing what to expect, not really knowing what finance was like, and I found it to be a very welcoming like atmosphere where like if I had a question, they would answer it. They gave me like opportunities to see kind of more like a well-rounded view of like how venture capital firm works, which I really appreciated, and I really didn't think I was going to be able to get that experience anywhere else but Foresight. So thank you, Jeff, Foresight Capital, and Project Onramp for this opportunity.
Thank you, Tomas. Madashli.
I'm Madashli. I would like to thank Project Onramp and also my bottom line mentors. And I would also like to thank my manager, Courtney, CJ, from Downstairs Therapeutics. She has helped me a lot. She has been like my mentor. She helped me with the clinical position. She helped me with to connect with people, and she told me not to be afraid to reach out to anybody. And I felt really comfortable to come to her to ask her any question that's possible. So thank you.
Thanks, Madashli. JT, would you like to say something?
Hi, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the Wiley Network for showing me this internship, and Project Onramp and Exilio Therapeutics, where I was working in cancer immunology. And thank you so much to my mentor, Manusa, who showed me everything about cancer immunology and She also picked me up from my apartment when not only my car broke down, but my bicycle that I used to get to work. So thank you, Manusa.
Thanks, JT. Miluchka, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, so thank you, Bottom Line and Project Onramp for giving me this opportunity. And I would also like to thank my supervisor who made me feel very productive every day and having fun in general. And also the atmosphere working with her. I felt part of her team. I was not just an intern, and I was able to communicate with everyone as if I was working there for 5 years, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you. What about you, Ashley Navarro?
Hi, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Drive Scholars and Project Onramp for helping me to find this opportunity. I'm so grateful to have been working with Constellation Pharmaceuticals. A huge thank you to the clinical operations team. Everyone has really helped me to grow this summer, and I will always be thankful for the experiences that I've had there.
What about Ramona? Ramona, would you be able to turn on your camera?
Yeah, one second.
Or we can go with someone else. Oh, great.
Yeah, I just want to thank Forma Therapeutics. That's why I had the pleasure of interning this summer, and all the people I got to work with. It was truly amazing learning more about the pharmaceutical industry, and thank you to the communications and the patient engagement team for all that they did.
I just want to ask, are there any supervisors who want to speak up at this point? If you do, just unmute yourselves.
Yes, hi, Lila, can you hear me? This is Brett Lee from Moderna.
Yes, I can.
So I wanted to, first of all, thank Project Onramp for the opportunity to participate in this program and have the opportunity to give back to the local community. And I want to also thank the hard work and contributions of Deshani Gaines, our intern, who had troubles with her camera all summer. So it made it even more difficult virtually to work together. But we're really grateful for her hard work. And I hope that she learned a lot. And
I'm unmuted.
I want to thank everybody at Project Onramp. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Eric Lim, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Hi all, this is Eric Lim from Stock Therapeutics. The team has had a great time working with one of the Onramp students, Kevin Lowe, this summer. We spent some time go-karting, playing arcade games and all the fun things. But Kevin had the opportunity to learn about cloud computing and help us answer some very important questions in our drug discovery pipeline. So just want to quickly thank Kevin for working hard and of course Onramp for the opportunity.
Thank you. Esmeralda?
Yeah, I would like to give a shout out to Project Onramp and also a shout out to both of my managers, Latasha and Angela, who I know Latasha's on, but Angela, I don't think. Both of you, it was a pleasure to work with both of you. I learned so much and I'm grateful to be given a chance to work with the compliance team this summer. So thank you for giving me the opportunity and I hope we stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jessica, would you like to say something? St. Keys?
I would like to give a shout out to Moderna and my boss, Kate O'Malley. Hi, Kate. If there was one word I would describe my internship experience as, is trust. Kate gave me so much trust in my work and gave me the space to grow. And I also want to give a shout out to the Wiley Network. Hi.
Wonderful. Thank you. What about Garwai Lee?
Oh, yes. I would like to thank Bottom Line, Project Onramp, and Life Science Care for providing me this internship to Pfizer, and my manager, Amy, who gave me the opportunity to intern with her group, especially my two advisors, Roddy and Josh. I know Josh is on the call, but and I really enjoyed having a good time with the group and going to social events and getting to learn more about everyone.
Thank you so much. And I see Ornella Nelson from AbbVie has her hand up. Ornella, I think you have the honor of being a 3-time Project Onramp supervisor. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes. Oop, my camera is on, I hope. I just wanted to say, thank you so much to Project Onramp. It is amazing to work with students. As you said, for the past 3 years, my student this year was Scott, and Scott did a wonderful job. And I'm so happy to have worked with him this summer. So thank you so much. And I also got to meet some wonderful students through the mentorship series. That was really wonderful too. So thank you.
Thanks, Ornella. Let's see, Angelise, would you like to say a few words?
Yes. Hi, my name is Angelis, and I want to say thank you to the Project Ramp for giving me an opportunity to participate. As well, I want to say thank you to my supervisor, Sumati, because she was the one who was there for all the time for me, and she had been a good mentor. And sorry about my voice, it's I lost my voice, but anyway, I'm very thankful for her for being there in the bad and good moments. And as well as yesterday that I did a mistake for the first time, and she was like, "Oh, mistake happens," and that made me feel better about myself.
That's so great. Frank Bersesi, would you like to say a few words?
Oh, yes. I'd like to thank Project Onramp for the opportunity to host a wonderful student such as Youssef. I think it's important for these companies to be involved in mentoring students and bringing up a new batch of scientists. And CASMA as a whole has benefited, as I hope Youssef has. And we hope that we can be involved with Project Onramp moving forward.
Cinia Romero.
Hi, I just want to give a huge shout out to my managers, Brendan, Pyres, and Chris Satterley. I think they're off the call now, but this was actually my first internship, and I was really nervous coming in at first, but they made me feel really welcomed. And I feel like I learned so much from them, and I just want to thank them for for trusting me to edit videos for them, because I had so much fun doing it.
You're on mute, Lila. You're on mute.
Brittany, would you like to say something? Sorry.
Hi, I want to just thank first Project Onramp and Minds Matter for connecting with me with the internship at TCR Square Therapeutics. And here I want to thank especially Ella, who's on the call, for always being so open to helping me and trusting me to run my own project and just being a text away and just helping me with anything at all. So thank you.
Go breathe.
Wonderful. Matthew, I see you have your hand raised.
Hi, I just wanted to extend a big thanks to Flywheel, and I just wanted to shout out my supervisor, Ryan, who just made everything go really smoothly and just provided me a space where I can go professionally. And he's helped me a ton along the way. And I just want to say I couldn't have done it without you. And also thanks to Project Onramp and Bottom Line for providing a space for me and my peers to have such an opportunity like this. And thank you.
Nardos?
Hello, I am Nardos. I intern at Beam Therapeutics, and I would like to thank the Beam Therapeutics team, HR team, and finance team. They were very helpful when I have questions, and they are very on it. I thank Susan and Betsy from the HR team are on the call, and I'd like to give them thanks. I also want to thank you, the Project Onramp for basically not only providing the opportunity, but following up to make sure we learn something, to make sure we get something out of it, so we're able to put it on our resumes and grow from it. And I would like to say thank you, especially for Kara, because she was my follower. She kept me informed, and she made sure that I'm getting something out of this internship.
Wonderful. Michelle, we're almost we're really kind of over time, but I really want to try to give the last few students a few minutes to speak. Michelle?
I'm from the lab, but I wanted to thank Project Onramp and Thrive Scholars for providing me this cool opportunity to work at the ESB department at Pfizer. The team was truly super friendly and welcoming, and I felt like a part of the team and not just a temporary intern. And everyone made a big effort to get to know me personally and made sure I felt comfortable in my working environment. And I just wanted to give a shout out to them for that.
Thank you, Michelle. What about you, Abdi? Abdi Ibrahim?
Oh, hey, my name is Abdi Ibrahim, and I interned at Fulcrum Therapeutics, and I'd like to give a huge shout out to Ayla, who's the head of the department that I interned in, computational biology, and Damon, who was here a few minutes ago. I don't know if he's still here. And I just like to thank them for being just very helpful and open to me asking a whole lot of questions, which I did. They just made it seem very easy for me to just ask any questions, regardless of how stupid I may think the questions may seem. And that just allowed me to feel more comfortable just speaking to everyone and just not feeling like I don't belong in there. So big shout out to them.
Thank you. I just want to call on like 3 more students. Tamana Gurung.
Hi, I would first of all like to thank Project Onramp and Clark University for giving me this opportunity, and also Biomir for having me as one of their summer interns this year. I would like to thank my manager, Emily Hudson, for being so welcoming and connecting me with so many great people who work at Biomir. I would also like to shout out Megan, Casey, Steph, and Aaron from Biomir, who have been so resourceful and always helpful. Thank you.
Marita Kami. Marita.
Hi. Yes, hi. I would like to thank Abby for an amazing internship experience this summer, and specifically my mentor, Dr. Deval Nanavati, and his team for being very nice and helpful and welcoming, and his willingness to share his knowledge in the field of biologics and pharmaceuticals, and allowing me to research and develop my skills in researching IL-17 and druggable proteins. And I would like to thank Project Onramp for making this opportunity possible.
Thank you, Marita. We'll have one last student, Tashani Gaines.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to give a giant shout out to Moderna, specifically the clinical department, and also shout out to Dr. Brett Lee for just being very adaptive when it came to my camera problems. I still made the most of my internship. And also shout out to Charm On and Kira also for helping me from Bottom Line. Shout out to everybody. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Tashani. And I just want to thank everyone for attending today. It's really so rewarding for me to work on a program like this. I feel really inspired by the young people that I work with every day. And I'm so excited to be at the beginning of their very exciting journeys. So thank you, everyone. Thanks also especially to my boss, Sarah, and all my colleagues at Life Science Cares. Sarah, I'm going to throw it over to you to wrap up.
Thank you, Lila, and thanks to all of the students and supervisors for sharing today. We didn't obviously hear from all of them. That's one of the challenges of this growing program, but rest assured, you have a chance to meet each and every single one of them in the yearbook we put together of this year's 127 interns. We'll send around a link to this for everyone who's registered. And you can read some of from the students' own mouths, the work they did, what they learned, and the experiences they found most valuable. I will reiterate what Lila said. This is not the end of anything. This is the very beginning of all of us working together. So certainly on behalf of the industry, to our class of 2021, congratulations on incredible work, and we look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks, everybody.